Let me know if you're here. We're going to get started. We're going to have an hour of flow this morning. So when you're feeling ready, come on down onto your back. Go ahead and bring your shoulders into the earth and relax your hips. If you'd like to bring the soles of your feet to the ground, you can do that, or you can come into a Shavasana shape if that's more comfortable. And then if it feels okay, you can have your eyes closed. This is from Brene Brown. Practicing courage, compassion, and connection in our daily lives is how we cultivate worthiness. The key word is practice. Mary Daly, a theologian, writes, "Courage is like a habit, a virtue. You get it by courageous acts. It's like you learn to swim by swimming. You learn courage by couraging. The same is true for compassion and connection. We invite compassion into our lives when we act compassionately towards ourselves and others. And we feel connected in our lives when we reach out and connect." So from this position on your back, begin to deepen your breath. Allow each exhalation to be an opportunity to soften and release gripping. Give yourself permission to land here on your mat and to move and breathe for the next hour. We'll practice compassion towards ourselves. If you'd like to set an intention or dedication for practice, you can do that now by placing one hand on your heart, one hand just above your belly button, elbows resting at your sides. Set your intention or your dedication. Take a full breath in and let a breath go. Do that again. Full deep breath in. Full breath out. Release. And then from this place on your back, you can leave your left foot planted and bring your right knee in towards you. Extend your right leg high to the sky. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh and give your right ankle some love. Circle it around a little bit. Point and flex. Wiggle the toes. Lubricate the joint. And as your ankle becomes still, you can start to draw your right toes in towards you a little bit more. Keep a soft bend in the knee. Your nose facing the sky. Find length in the back of your extended leg. And then bring this into a figure four, crossing ankle over your thigh. Draw your left knee in. Figure four. You can always leave your left foot down on the ground or on a block, or if you're near a wall, you can rest your left foot on the wall. Take the left foot back down. And then walk the knees together. You're going to scoot both hips over to the right a little bit and tilt both knees over to the left, extending your right arm You can take your left hand and press down on your right leg a little bit. You can also use blocks under your knees here, or a bolster or a blanket. We'll work on staying connected with our breath during our practice today. So as we come into twisting postures and balancing postures, I'll remind you to check in with your breath, your life force. And then back to a neutral spine. Take the soles of your feet to the ground, step out wide, and let your knees rock from one side to the other side. And then plant the right foot. We're going to send the left leg up high. Same thing here, interlacing your fingers behind your left thigh and moving the left ankle around, the left toes. Point and flex, circle. Coming into figure 4, ankle crosses over thigh, option to pull the knee in, option to leave the foot down. Find the place where you're feeling some sensation in the outer left hip. Maybe you want more sensation today, maybe a little less. Float the right foot back down to the earth, uncross the ankle and bring the knees together. Scoot both hips over to the left just a little bit and find your twist, dropping both knees to the right this time. Extend your left arm and let your left shoulder sink into the earth. To a neutral spine. Pull the knees in this time. Take some circles, press the low back down. Go in both directions. And then slide the hands behind the thighs, rocking up to a seated position. We're going to make our way onto hands and knees. So once you find your way onto hands and knees, spread your fingers wide. Bring your knees under your hips and find your cow-cat stretches. Inhale to drop the belly down a little and look up. Exhale to round the spine, look behind you. And then keep going here. Find those cows and cats. Dropping down on the inhalation, rounding the spine on the exhalation. So match your breath and your movement. Everybody's going to be going at a different pace. And we'll meet back in child's pose when you're ready. Bringing your hips to your heels. You can bring your toes together, knees wide apart, and then reach out long in front of you and find stillness. Walk both hands over to the top left corner of the mat. Let the right hand drape over the left hand. Same thing on the other side. Come back through center. Make your way back up onto into your table pose, hands and knees. We'll send the right foot back, lengthen, bring the ankle in line with the hip. And then working on our balancing table, the left arm can come out, thumb up. Send your gaze down towards your mat. Engage your belly and see if you can find stillness for 3 breaths. Drop the hand, and now the knee. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Left foot comes back, flexing the foot, lengthen the spine. Option to add the right arm. Thumb up, reaching forward. Hand down, then the knee. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. We're going to come into our first down dog. Take some movement here, pedal your feet out, sway your hips, shake your head. And we'll go ahead and measure our down dog, bringing shoulders over wrists, bringing heels over toes, find length in your spine. And then as you exhale, let's find down dog and hold it. Maybe you want to walk your hands back a tiny bit, or your feet forward a tiny bit, but not too much. And then drop the heels down towards the earth. Lift your tailbone up and breathe. Start to roll forward into your plank pose. Find a strong plank. You can always drop knees to the mat for supported plank if that feels better for you today. Next time you exhale, come to down dog. Roll up. Let's do that again. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's start tiptoeing our feet forward. We're going to come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Take opposite elbows and opposite hands. Ragdoll. Hang heavy. Bend your knees as much as you'd like. Look for length through the entire back body. Keep your connection to your full inhalations and complete exhalations. Release your hands down to the mat. Walk your feet right under your hips. We're going to bend into the knees and come all the way up slowly. Bring your fingertips up with you, palms together. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, Tadasana, mountain pose. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Plant both feet firmly into the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, long spine. Exhale to fold. Let's do that again. Inhale to rise. Come right back down. Exhale to fold, hinging at your hips. Inhale to lift halfway, long spine. Exhale to fold. One more time. Rise up on the inhalation. Fold on the exhalation. Come up halfway, and then fold in half. This time we're going to step just the left foot back, come onto the ball of the left foot, drop the back knee, untuck the back toes, and sweep up. Interlace your fingers behind your head, make a little cradle for your head, and press the heaviness of your head into your hands. Lift your chest, spread the collarbone wide. And then release your hands back down to the mat. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, step into your plank pose. And then if you're ready to flow. You can take half or full chaturanga. And then inhale to your up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Start to walk your feet to your hands, coming back into your forward fold at the top of the mat. Little micro bend in the knees as you rise all the way up, palms together. Exhale, Tadasana. Find your mountain. Release your shoulders. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. This time right foot comes back, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Same thing here, release the knee down, untuck the back toe, sweep up and slide your hips towards the top of the mat so you're not crushing your back knee. And then interlace your fingers, make that cradle for your head and open your heart. Hands come back down, frame the front foot. Tuck your back toe under, lift your back knee up and find your plank pose. We'll meet in down dog. If you'd like to go through a vinyasa, go ahead and do that. This time send your right foot high to the sky, lift it up. With control, step the right foot between your thumbs and find warrior one, rising up on the inhalation. Pressing firmly into both feet. Square your hips to the top of the mat. Bring your hands to heart center. Take your left knee in towards your chest, finding stork pose. And then take your left hand to your left shin. We're going to rotate outward. Maybe even sending the right arm out towards the side, looking for balance. Bring your knee back into your chest, squeeze it in a little bit, and then with control, come back to your warrior one. Replace the foot and rise up on the inhalation. This time, take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, lift your heart, gaze up a little bit, and then as you exhale, extend your spine and find your humble warrior. Take your hands down to frame your right foot. Standing splits, peel the left leg up. You can bring blocks under your hands here. Drop the crown of your head, and we'll start working towards half moon. My goat's in the way. So for half moon, you're going to bring your right hand down in front of your right foot or onto a block, left hand to left hip. And then if you're feeling steady, you can start to peel the left fingertips up towards the sky. Imagining that there's a wall behind you. Allow yourself to wobble, allow yourself to fall. And when you're finished practicing your half moon, bend into your front knee and step back, warrior two. Nice wide stance. Find length through both arms. Come back to your breath. Relax your shoulders. And then flip your front palm, peaceful warrior. Take your left hand behind your back and look for your right hip crease. Go ahead and release back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, half bind if you want it. Exhale, warrior two. Let's do that one more time. Reverse, half bind if you want it. Come back to warrior two. This time we'll straighten the front knee, working towards Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can use a block under the bottom hand if you'd like. Try to keep the chest open, the hips open. And then pulling yourself back up through center. Let's find our five-pointed star. Heels in, toes out, reach up wide. As you exhale, we'll come into our wide-legged forward fold. Drop the crown of your head, drop your hands. And hang heavy here. You can bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. Or find another arm variation that you like. Drop your hands down to the mat. We're going to start walking our hands back to our front foot, our right foot. Frame the front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot. as you lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, straighten the front knee, bring the hips to the sky. High runner's lunge. Inhale, come back to your low runner's lunge. Exhale, hips to sky, straight front knee, high runner's lunge. One more time, low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. Come back forward one more time and then look to the top of the mat. And then we'll step to the top of the mat, forward fold, Uttanasana. You can take opposite elbows here. Find your ragdoll, hang heavy. And then lift up halfway as you inhale. As you exhale, forward fold. Come all the way back up on the inhalation. Bring the palms together. Exhale, find your Tadasana, find your mountain pose. Take a moment to ground both feet into the mat and find balance between both sides of the body. Next time you inhale, reach up. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Step back to your high plank, top of a push-up, and then find your way to down dog however you'd like to arrive. This time we'll float the left foot up. As you exhale, step the left foot forward. Find your warrior one, rising on the inhalation. Take a moment to settle in. Take a moment to balance your weight between both sides of your body. Fix your gaze. And then bring your hands to your heart. Look to the top of your mat, stork pose, bringing the right knee in towards your chest. And then slide the right hand to the right shin. Start to rotate the hip open. You can extend your left arm out next to you if you'd like to. And then knee comes back in. With control, it's going to be a step back to warrior one. Plant the foot and rise. Hands reach up. And then take your hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Palms come together. Fist goes down towards the earth. Lengthen the spine, look up, and then long spine into humble warrior. Coming down to frame the front foot with the hands. Standing splits, blocks under the hands here are great. Keep a little bend in the standing knee. Swivel the right hip down, left hip up, square hips. And then working towards Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, left hand down to a block or a bolster or the earth. Start to peel the right arm up. See if you can pull your right hip over your left hip, right shoulder over your left shoulder. Allow that wobbling, allow the falling. And then it's going to be, with control, a step back to your warrior two. So plant the foot and rise up. Sink in. If you stopped breathing, give yourself a full breath in and a full breath out. Again, finding that balance between both sides of the body. Flip the front palm, peaceful warrior, half bind if you want to reach the right hand behind you. Exhale, warrior two. Do that twice more. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, half bind. Exhale, warrior two. Let's straighten just the front knee. Start working towards triangle. So you'll reach the left fingertips forward and the right hip back. And then tilt and reach. Find your triangle shape. And then come back up to neutral. 5-pointed star, heels in, toes out. This time, rather than taking our forward fold, we'll come into our goddess pose, sliding the tailbone down. Shift the weight back and forth a little bit till you can come to balance. Straighten the knees, 5-pointed star. This time we'll come to a wide-legged forward fold. Drop the crown of the head and start walking your hands towards your left foot. Frame your left foot. Come onto the ball of the right foot and find length in your spine. Next time you exhale, straighten the front knee, hips to sky. Let's do that 3 more times. Low lunge, high lunge. Twice more, low lunge, high lunge. 1 more time, low and high. Come back into your low lunge, look to the top of the mat, and come into a forward fold. Big step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. This time we'll make our way into chair pose. So as you sweep up, take a breath in, exhale to sit back down into your fierce pose. Remember your options here. You can have your hands at your heart. You can have hands by your ears. Inhale, straighten your knees and reach up, biceps by the ears. Exhale, Utkatasana, come back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, come up, reach fingertips to the sky. Exhale, chair. Twice more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, chair. Hold your chair. This time as you exhale, straighten your knees, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway, flat back. Exhale to fold. Left foot steps back, high lunge. Let's sweep up, crescent warrior. You're on the ball of the left foot. Sink your hips down. Hands come to the heart. Reach it forward. Let's take a twist. Taking the left elbow across the body. You can always drop the back knee if that feels better for you. And then come back to your crescent warrior, fingertips high to the sky. Drop the hands down to frame the front foot. We're going to step back to down dog splits. Right leg floats up high. Exhale, right knee to nose. Do that again. Send it back. Knee to nose. 1 more time. Send it back. This time, step it through. Coming back to our high crescent lunge. Crescent warrior. Reach up high. Bring your hands to your heart. Look to the top of the mat. Step forward to stork. Bringing the left knee back in with you. And this time we'll come to tree. Bring your left foot somewhere to the inside of your right leg, not your knee. And then if you feel steady and you want to take a different arm variation, you can grow branches. Bring your hands back to your heart. Bring your left knee back to your chest. And then set the left foot down to the outside of the right foot, so your pinky toe to pinky toe. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold with crossed ankles. Feel free to bring a block under your hands here. ankles. Take a really deep bend into your knees. Set your chest on your thighs. Tuck your chin into your chest and roll up really slowly. Head and neck up last, finding your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Take a moment to settle, to reconnect with the breath. Let your eyes blink open. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Next time you inhale, we're going to find our chair pose again. Sitting down, maybe lower if this doesn't bother your knees. Take the arm variation you'd like in chair. Next time you inhale, come to standing, lift your arms. Exhale with control, set your hips down and back for chair. Let's do that 3 more times. Come up with control, press into your feet. Exhale, chair. Inhale, knees straight. Exhale, knees bent. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, knees straight. Exhale, knees bent. Let's hold it. Straighten your knees, forward fold, drop your head. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. Right foot steps back, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Find balance and then find crescent warrior, sweeping up. Send your hips down, strengthen the back leg, strengthen the front leg. Hands come to the heart, reaching forward as far as you can before you take your twist across your body. Come back through crescent warrior, reach hands high to the sky. Hands come to heart center again. Look to the top of the mat. Let's find stork pose. Maybe you can do one big step in. Right knee comes in. Hug the knee in close. And then when you feel steady, find your tree pose. Rotating the right knee out towards the right wall. You can send your arms up high. Hands come back together. Right knee comes back into the chest. Give it a hug. And then pinky toe to pinky toe. Cross ankle over ankle. Reach up high. This time take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Then come to a forward fold with a long spine. You can leave your fist down at your low back, or you can start to lift your fist away from your back. Uncross your arms, step your feet out wide, take your forward fold, lift up halfway, exhale to fold. Let's step back to our high plank, and then go through your flow or come directly to down dog. Hips high to the sky. We're going to meet in down dog splits. I left something out there. Right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, bring your knee to your nose, round your spine. Twice more, send it back. Knee to nose, round the spine. One more time, send it back. Knee to nose, round the spine. Send it back one more time. And then replace your right foot on the mat and find child's pose. I know we did something out of order there. The gifts of imperfection. Forehead to the mat.
forearms. Plant your palms wide, spread your fingers wide, and press into your forearms like you're trying to pull the mat out from under you. We're coming to dolphin, so tuck your toes, lift your hips up high, and start walking your feet in towards your face. So I have a wall near me. If you have a wall near you and you want to work towards forearm stand, you're going to come from dolphin, and then inhale one leg up at a time. You can do this part without a wall, bringing your hands in towards bringing your weight on towards your forearms. If you have forearm stand in your practice and you want to take a little hop, you can do that. Maybe you bring your heels all the way to the wall. Maybe you can find a little flight. And when you've had enough time in dolphin or forearm stand prep, we'll meet again in child's pose, this time hands near heels. And then come back up onto hands and knees. Let's make our way back to downward facing dog. This time you're going to send the right leg high to the sky. Bend the right knee, see if you can roll the right hip over the left. And then rise up onto the ball of the left foot. As you exhale, drop the left heel. Do that twice more. Inhale, rise with control. Exhale, drop the heel. One more time, come up. And drop it. Now take your right shin and slide it behind your wrists for your pigeon pose. If you prefer figure 4 on your back here, please take that. Or you can take a pinwheel shape. So once you find your version of resting half pigeon, you can come down onto your forearms or even your forehead. If anything hurts, if anything's pinching or tearing or hot, please make an adjustment. We don't want to get hurt in yoga. And then sink in and breathe. And then come up onto your palms. We're going to come onto the right hip and swing the left leg around and roll all the way down onto your back. Pull the knees in, rock side to side. Take some big circles with the knees going out in one direction and then the other direction. And then cross your ankles and roll up 3 times. 1, 2, and on the third one, maybe you can come all the way up onto hands and knees and make your way back to downward facing dog. This time, left leg floats, bending the left knee, roll hip over hip. Keep the left shoulder down. And then inhale to come up onto the ball of the right foot. Exhale, sink the right heel. Twice more, lift. And lower. One more time, lift. And lower. And with control, you'll take the left shin behind your wrists. Or find another variation that you like here of pigeon. Look back, make sure your leg is long behind you. If your left hip is floating off the mat, take a blanket or a book or a bolster and pop it under there so that your hips are in line with one another. Coming down when you're ready. Come up onto your palms. Roll over onto your left hip. Swing your right leg out in front of you. And we'll come onto our backs again. So come all the way onto your back. Pull the knees in. We're going to take those circles again with the knees. Opening the knees and then closing the knees and circling in the other direction. And then extend the arms long behind you, and feet out long in front of you. Take a full body stretch, get as long and tall as you can, and then roll over onto your left hip, resting your head on your left bicep. Reach back and see if you can grab your right foot with your right hand. Send your knee away from you. If you can't make the connection, you can just reach back in that direction or use a strap or a belt or a scarf if you don't have a strap at home. Release the foot, come back onto your back, full body stretch again, long and tall, and then the other side, roll over onto your right hip. Rest your head on your right arm and reach back for your left foot. Release the foot. Come on to your back again. Pull the knees in again and bring your hands behind your thighs. We're going to roll up to a seated position. Bringing the soles of the feet together this time. Sit up tall. And we want to feel some sensation in the inner thighs here. So you can pull your feet, your heels in towards you. You can also use books or bolsters under your knees for a little extra support if this feels a little too intense. You can have these on any level, of course. And then taking a deep breath in, lengthen your spine. Start to hinge at your hips, but don't allow your spine to round. So little by little, with each exhalation, you may be able to hinge forward a teeny tiny bit more, maybe not. Maybe you're in stillness, holding the pose, and allowing the pose to work. Each time you inhale, think about growing long and tall through the spine. And each time you exhale, imagine you're bringing your nose a tiny bit closer towards your toes. Bring yourself back up to a neutral spine. Remove the blocks if you have them there. Send your legs out in front of you, shake them a little bit. And we'll come to Dandasana, staff pose. So if you're finding that you're sitting back kind of rounded, you might want to sit on a bolster or a blanket so that you can bring your shoulders over your hips. And then plant your hips, bring your hands to your sides, sit up tall, and then reach for the sky. As you exhale, forward fold, reaching for your toes. Inhale, come back up, long spine with control. And as you exhale, find that seated forward fold. One more time to come up. And then exhale to fold, reach for your toes. If you can grab your feet, you can do that, or you can also grab ankles or shins or knees and find length in the spine. Lengthening particularly through the low back if you can, the lumbar spine, making some space between the vertebrae. As you exhale, fold a little bit more. Come back up to neutral. Lean back on your hands, fingertips facing your hips. Bring your feet in towards you. Take your knees about hip width apart. Press equally into both feet and hands. We're going to come into tabletop. So as you inhale, come up, bring your chest parallel to the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. And as you exhale, start to lower the hips down but hover them. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, hover. Twice more. One more time. Start to lower, lower, lower slowly, 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 slowly. Bring the hips down last. Good. Make your hands wider, make your feet wider. Tick-tock your knees from side to side. And then we're going to take a revolved head to knee pose. So take your left heel and bring it back by your left hip. And extend your right leg long. If this bothers your knee, you can bring the sole of the foot to the inside of the right leg. And then take a nice wide stance with your leg. Flex the extended leg and take your right arm to the inside of your right foot. Think about pulling your left shoulder back and away from you. And then reach your left arm up and over your head. Start to bend towards your right foot, like you're going to grab your right toes. Some people may grab their right toes. Most of us won't. So find length through the side body as you inhale, and as you exhale, reach a little closer towards your toes. Keep the chest open, keep the left shoulder over the right. Slowly pull yourself back up to a neutral position. And we'll do it on the other side. So reverse everything. Make an adjustment if this bothers the knee. Step out wide with the legs. Left arm comes to the inside of the left leg and then spin the right shoulder back. Send the right shoulder up and over, reaching towards the left toes. Pull yourself back up. Unwind your legs again. Bring the soles of your feet out in front of you. Let your knees drop from side to side, coming all the way onto one hip and then all the way onto the other hip. We'll meet on our backs. So make your way down onto your back. And walk your heels in towards you. Knees face the sky, palms next to you. Palms down by your hips. I'm going to take a supported bridge. So I'm going to take my block and take it under my sacrum. And then tuck my shoulder blades under a little bit and rest my hips on the block. If you'd like to take a more active bridge, press your feet down and away from you like you're pulling the mat out from under you with your feet and lift your hips up and hold it. And then lift the hips off the block, remove the block, come down slowly one vertebra at a time, bringing the hips down last. Send the feet out wide and let the knees rock from side to side. And then you can do that again, supported bridge or bridge pose, or if you want to take your hands under your back and interlace your fingers, you can roll your shoulder blades under your back. Press into the mat with your feet, lift your hips high and send the fist towards your heels. When you're ready to come down, release the bind, unroll the shoulders, and roll down one vertebra at a time like you're releasing a string of pearls down onto the ground. Step the feet out wide, tick-tocking the knees back and forth one more time. Then pull the knees in, give yourself a hug. We'll take one more supine twist, drop both knees over to the left. Come out to cactus arms here. If you'd like a block or blanket or bolster under the knees, you can always do that. Sink into the right shoulder and breathe. Same thing on the other side. Come back through center. Dip the knees to the right. Find that rotation. And then back to neutral. Pull the knees in one last time. Take your happy baby if you like happy baby, or take any last adjustments you need before we come to our final rest. What I've been doing since we've been social distancing with these digital classes is I've been signing off as you're getting into Shavasana so that you can take as long as you'd like in your final rest. Shavasana, final resting pose, corpse pose, it's meant to allow you time to really integrate and absorb the benefits of your practice. So if you'd like to take longer than the traditional 6 minutes, I want you to do that. And I'd love feedback on this. If you'd rather I stay with you and wake you back up, I'm happy to do that too. But this time I'm going to leave you to your own Shavasana. So as you're getting ready to come down onto your back, make yourself comfortable. You can use a bolster or a block under your knees, blocks under your knees, or even roll over onto one side and find a seedling pose, fetal position if that's comfortable. Take a final scan of your body, softening where you can, letting go of any unwanted or unneeded thoughts. Give yourself full permission to rest mind and body. And when you're ready to come back up, rise back up, sit back up with a sense of gratitude.